I want to talk today about long-term care insurance. The odds are, if you're married or you have a significant other, that one of you is going to go into a nursing home facility after you turn 65. That's the statistics. 50% of us who pass 65 will spend approximately 2.5 years in a nursing home. That's the average. So you need to plan for it. You need to give it some thought. When I turned 50, that would have been in 1996, I was a financial advisor. And as a result, Nita and I went and purchased long-term care insurance. We were healthy. And to qualify for insurance, it's based on long-term care insurance. It's based on your age, your medical history, your marital status, your gender. Actually, women are more expensive than men, and the amount and term of your coverage. So what we did was we went ahead and signed up for long-term care insurance for both of us. We put an inflation rider on it, and so we now have coverage benefits of $246 a day of coverage for as long as we're in there, which amounts to $89,790 a year. I feel pretty confident about that. We live in Alabama. The cost of an average nursing home here is about $75,000, so we should be in the best that they have, and so we feel good about it. What we realized and what we had a long conversation about is, who are we insuring? And the answer we had is the one who doesn't have the handicap or the problem that puts them into a nursing home. Because if you don't have long-term care insurance, that pretty much means you're going to stay at home, and so your spouse or your significant other is going to be burdened with taking care of you. So in essence, their life stops. You go into la la land if you have Alzheimer's, and you don't know what's going on, but your spouse certainly does, and they have to take care of you. So we decided we didn't want that. That we wanted the spouse who was not inflicted with whatever to have the freedom to go on with their life and enjoy their life, because you could be in there for 10 years with Alzheimer's. So that was a decision we made back in 1996. So I got to thinking, how did that work out? So I looked back on our premiums, and our premiums back when we were 50 were $1,300 a year. We actually pay it on a quarterly basis. One of the structures of the long-term care insurance is that the insurer has the right to increase your rate as you age. Now, so in fact, our rate has roughly doubled over that 25-year period, and we're now paying $2,616 a year. So I got to figuring out what, in fact, have we paid in total up until this point, and it is $48,950. Let's round it off to $50,000. Now, what happens if we don't go in? We lose that $50,000. Or you might say we win, that we don't have to spend any time in a nursing home. I'm okay with that, personally. I'm okay with that. I know that if either Nita and I go into a nursing home, we will get the best of care, and thus, and the one of us who doesn't go in will be able to go on with their life. And so I see that as a good thing. I look at it pretty much the same way as I look at my insurance on my home, my homeowner's insurance. I am insured that if my house burns down, I can replace it. I insure my car that if I get in a wreck and it totals, I can replace it. I hope that neither of those happen. And that's kind of how I look at life insurance. Now, since then, they have come out with some policies that they tie it to, I think I said life insurance. I meant long-term insurance, because there are policies now that they tie it to life insurance. And that is that you pay, and if in fact you don't go into a nursing home, when the second of you pass away, your heirs get a life insurance policy. That was not available when I was 50 years age, but I looked at it just recently, and it's outrageously expensive. It's much more expensive than the you get nothing if you don't go policy. So I want you to know it's available, but it's very expensive, and go over it with a financial planner or a long-term care insurance individual. But dig into this deep, because understand this is insurance. As a financial advisor, I will tell you it's a high commission product. They want to sell it. It's like a used car salesman. They want to sell. They don't make money if you walk off the lot and you don't buy the insurance. So that's something that you need to think through very carefully. And if you want to reach out and ask me some questions, I'll try to answer them. In fact, if you got some questions about this, put it in the comments, and I'll try to address them. Then there's one other thing that I want to address, and that this is what is called a irrevocable trust. A lot of if you qualify for Medicaid, Medicaid will pay for your nursing home care. What does that look like? Well, you have to have an income of less than $16,395 a year, and you have to have assets of less than $2,000 of assets. Now, there are some assets that don't figure into that. They're non-countable assets, such as personal property, any art or things of that nature, any home improvements you have. But your home does. How home does count. They won't take your home. Let's say that you go into the nursing home and your spouse stays there. They won't force you to sell your house, but they will put a lien. Medicare will put a lien against your house. And so when you pass away and your spouse passes away, they will go sell your house and repay themselves for what Medicaid paid for your nursing home care. So what a lot of lawyers kind of tell people you might consider doing, and you might consider doing it, is to put your assets into an irrevocable trust. And that is basically, Nita and I say, we're going to put our house, we're going to put all of our brokerage accounts, we're going to put our rental property, everything into a irrevocable trust, and we will name someone else the owner of that property, the trustee of the trust. Well, let's say we decide that's our son. Now, in essence, I'm giving him, so I have to declare that as a gift, but I can use my unified credit, and that makes it not an issue, because our unified credit now, I think we have as a couple, or as an individual, I think it's up over $11 million a year. So you can gift and activate your unified credit to give all your assets to someone so that they're not in your name, so that when you get Alzheimer's, you qualify for Medicaid. You can do that. Now, there's some traps here you need to be aware of. Medicare or Medicaid has a 5-year clawback period in every state other than California. In California, it's 30 months. So in essence, they say if in 2020, I put all of my assets into an irrevocable trust and put my son as the trustee, and anytime I need something, I need to go to him and ask for it, that then, and if it's there for 5 years, I can qualify for Medicaid. So that all sounds good if you trust your son. He might come to some point and say, "Dad, you and Mom don't need to go on that cruise, so I'm not going to pay for it," because he now controls your assets. The other assets that are not accountable are your IRAs and your 401ks. But there's a trap there too. Once you pass 70 and a half, or I believe it's now 72. For me, it was 70 and a half. You have to take required minimum distributions. So now that required minimum distribution is going to push your income probably above the $16,395. Now, you also have another issue if, in fact, you have a pension, and that pension is pushing your income up higher. You might have to give that pension benefit up to your trust. Again, it's a slippery slope. I know some people who have traveled this slope. I believe back when I was a financial advisor, that clawback period was only 3 years. But there are people who play this game, and there are lawyers who make their living playing this game. So, but I want you to be aware of it. It's out there. It's a way. But again, be aware. Although your house is a non-countable asset, they will still put, if you go into the nursing home, they will put a lien against your house, and then when you and your significant other die, they come and bring back that money. Now, the other issue is you're now on Medicare, you're a ward of the state. You're probably not going to end up in the best of nursing homes. Now, in all nursing homes, probably want to be, unless they're the top of the line, they want to qualify for Medicaid because, in fact, if they have some open beds and that's the only way they can fill them, that's better than nothing. So, if you know the right people, you might be on Medicaid and get in there. The other issue I wanted to cover is you may make a choice to not get any nursing home insurance, and I would say probably the majority of retired people make that choice. Well, you need to understand the cost of a nursing home and how. And again, you don't have an irrevocable trust. You have your assets, you have your home, and one of you goes into the nursing home, you're going to be paying this $75,000 a year, and you need to decide whether or not you can self-insure. I look at it kind of like fire insurance on the house. I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't want to self-insure for fire insurance. Do I want to self-insure for nursing home insurance? Again, if the odds are that one or two of us are going to go into a nursing home, and we're going to spend 2.5 years, that's going to cost somewhere over $200,000 for that 2.5 years. Now, I have it. But as it turns out, thus far, I am insured to not have to self-insure and pay that $250,000 for the $50,000 that I've paid over the last 25 years. Now, am I going to continue to pay it? Yeah, I will have to continue to pay it. And will they continue to raise my premium as I approach my 80s? I'm sure they will. But this was a decision I made way back when I was 50. Was there a likelihood I would go into a nursing home between my 50 and 65th birthday? Probably not. So I think the other question I would ask at this point was, would I have been better off taking the risk from 50 to 65, those 15 years, and then buying the policy at 65? I don't know. That's looking in the rearview mirror, and life doesn't run that way. We did it our way. I'm sharing this with you because I think it's something you and your spouse, significant other, need to talk about. You need to say, do I want to self-insure? Do I want to buy some long-term care insurance? And if so, how much? I mean, we're covered for the full cost. I don't recall what the premium or what the daily payout was, but I would suspect it was down around $100 a day. Back when we bought it, it's now up to $246,000. Heck, it might have been $75 a day back in 1996. I don't know, but it's something you need to put in your financial plan. This is not something you want to say, oh my God, I never thought about that. Think about it and make a decision and decide how you're going to protect yourself. All right. As I think of other things, I approach these things from my personal life experience as a financial advisor and as a retiree, and I just hope you can benefit from it. Talk to you again.